Yo, what's up, YouTube? I think younger black men and just all men can do a better job at judging women, and we can do this by trying to remove sex from the atmosphere. Now, when you go to a club or maybe out on a romantic dinner, the level of, how can I put this, romanticism is up, and just the level of sexual tension is up in the air based off of the nature of the place that you're at. And when this happens, as a man, you will always overinflate a woman's quality. It is what it is. Like I said, I've been to spots where it was pretty upscale, where the dudes, you pretty much had to be established. But the women there were anything but established. So, there was dudes 30, 32, really doing well. And there was chicks fresh out of high school, 18 and 19. And they were doing the most pulling simply because the sexual atmosphere was supercharged. And women typically control that sort of interaction, right? They give the final yay or nay. Now, you can be good and you can be a smooth talker. But at the end of the day, they pretty much control what's going on. So when you're in those positions, you will always, as a man, overinflate her worth. Now, if you are trying to get a better reading of who she is, you have to do your best to remove sex from the equation. And don't get me wrong, it's always going to be there, especially if your relationship is brand new. You can't really help it. But what you can do is go out to spots where sex isn't in the atmosphere. So if you go to a museum or an aquarium or a play, some spot where you can interact, where the whole idea of the sex in the atmosphere, right, is gone, she will have to stand on something else. She can't sit back and rely on the fact that she's a woman and she pretty much controls, who's having sex and who isn't having sex. Right? Once you remove that from her, now she has to rely on what God has not given her. Okay? She has to rely on who she is as a person, her personality. Right? Oftentimes, the prettiest women have the smallest personality once you take them outside of the club or some sort of romantic setting, right? Because you remove sex from the atmosphere. So now, you're not necessarily trying to get some. You're more so trying to figure out who she is. And this is where they have to dig deep and be forthcoming in terms of who they are as people. So for me, that's the true test. If you take any woman and you place her in some sort of club or bar setting where sex is in the atmosphere, you're always going to overinflate her, and she's going to know it. And she will use that leverage. So you really have to take that leverage away. This is why, I'm a strong supporter of black men letting go of that mandingo complex, because it really shows your lack of power. Okay, to say that you are some sexual beast, it shows that you are easily controlled and manipulated. But if you let go of that, okay, and you operate outside of that, you will force women to show who they really are. And most of the time, they will fall off the bus, because a lot of their self-worth and self-confidence isn't based off of who they are. It's based off of the fact that they control whether they have sex or not. So, that's just a small piece of advice. It sucks, like I said, because most of the women that you will meet will fall off the bus, but the ones that do make it, you're almost guaranteed to have some sort of a decent relationship with that person, because they're more than just what's in between their legs. Okay, they're more than just what they were born with. They actually have a personality. They actually have shown that they understand the world. They have some sort of a world view and some sort of a non-self-centered approach to how they live their lives. So you guys take it easy. Tell me how you feel. God bless.